Hello again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis, along with my WWE Hall of Famer co-host, Mr. Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
I'll let a player.
What you doing today, brother?
Hey, man, I'm just kind of taking it easy and just waiting on you to hook up and we can do our show and enjoy the rest of the day.
In other words, you tried to get me out the way. I could read between the lines. Teddy, this month in October, last year we did October Frights. I thought we'd do it again this year, where we just kind of put a little theme into the show for the month of October. And October Frights, one of the shows I was looking forward to doing is this one right here, because I was a big fan of the WCW Halloween specials, and that was Halloween Havoc. Those shows always felt extra special. I don't know did it feel that way to you and the rest of the people backstage? Was that a bigger kind of pay-per-view or whatever you want to call it at the time?
Well, all pay-per-views were viewed as special, you know what I mean? But you take the one like Halloween Havoc, excuse me, sure. That was a real big deal, every year. So that everybody was excited about it, especially if they were involved in it, the viewers in the show or something. But other than that, man, it was great to have Halloween Havoc. Everybody was looking forward to it.
Well, what I've done is I've gone and found several pictures from Halloween Havoc, some that have Teddy Long in the pictures. So we'll get his reaction into the moment of what was taking place. Go ahead, Teddy.
Well, no, I was Rufus had come to check on me, but now he's just strutted on out, so ain't no look at him.
Rufus.
He just wanted to make sure I was all right, so he walked on out.
Yeah, he's good. I'm gonna go back and lay down now. I had such a hard day. But let's see if
there he is.
Rufus. Hey, buddy. Rufus. Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're talking about dogs now. Hey, that's family right there, brother.
That's right, man.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to show some images. And Teddy, I just want to get your thoughts on these images. And if any memories at all come to mind from these shots. Let's see. I'm going to throw this up here. And here we go. Oop. Let's try it again. There we go. First picture there, Teddy, this is somebody I know you know, and this is one of the gimmick type of things they would do at Halloween Havoc, and that is right there, the Wheel of Doom, if I recall, is what it was called. I think that's what they called it, the Wheel of Doom, spin the wheel and something. I can't remember what it was, but they had all kinds of different things, matches, weird matches that would take place if it landed on it. Harley Race at that time, he's in the far left picture. His back is to you there, Teddy.
I see Harley. I knew that was him right away.
Yeah, he looks like he's still in really good health right there.
Yeah, well, he was at that particular time. Harley was, always, was a guy that I knew that took care of himself.
Now, can you tell who's in the cowboy hat next to him? I cannot make that person out. It's somebody with loose like dark hair and maybe a beard, a light beard.
You got me. I can't put that out either. Only that hat, the only giveaway I would know would I think maybe JBL, but I don't think he was at that show.
No, because that's WCW. So yeah. Let's see. Let's move on to the next picture here. Take me a second to pull this up. Just give me a second here. And this again from Halloween Havoc. This picture being. Let's see, Teddy Long in the middle with Stone Cold Steve Austin on one side. And, of course, this is one of JR's buddies right here on the right side of you, on your left, I guess.
Oh, brother, Steve Dr. F. Williams, me and him were real good friends. In fact, I have a bag, and if we get time, I'll go get it. I think I can find. Anyway, But I have a bag that he brought back from Japan as a gift and gave it to me, and I still have that bag. But I rode with Steve Williams, not a whole lot, but a little bit, and he was a guy that was, I mean, tremendously strong. I remember one time at center stage, they had his car blocked in. And he stepped right out of his car, and he took this car that was parked. He went to the back of it. He lifted one side of it up and moved it, and he went over to the other side. I'm telling you now, he lifted his car and moved it out of the way, and then where he could get his car out.
Wow. Now, and of course, at this time, that stunning Steve Austin that you're talking to, it was stunning Steve at that time. If I remember, Teddy, he was more of a wrestler. He wasn't what became Stone Cold Steve Austin. His entire approach back then was actually wrestling, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, he was just, stunning Steve Austin, I believe is what they were calling him then. And well, like I said, I think the greatest thing that happened for Steve there is he got a chance to go to WWE and started working with Vince. And Vince, that certainly is a genius in this business, man. And he found his niche, and he come up with that, with the character Stone Cold Steve Austin, and him and Vince. Jesus Christ, just go back and think about all the stuff that they done.
Now, let's look also while we're looking at this. And for those of you who are listening, if you go to YouTube under Road Trip After Hours, you'll see the videos that we're talking, or the pictures that we're looking at right now. But Teddy, you're under the banner of the Halloween Havoc. You got both guys on, one on each side of you. Who was the person that put together the outfit for you?
What I had on?
Yeah.
Myself. I put the outfit on.
You picked everything out?
Yeah.
Brother, you did a good job. I mean, you are styling in that picture right there, brother.
Well, I've always known how to dress.
Well, now we'll talk more about how you dress, because there was a suit that I saw. We'll get to it later. There's a little special about eBay that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I come from the street, brother. I'm an old hustler, so I know how to dress.
The do-rag on your head. When you saw Vince do that in WWE, did he come to you and talk to you about that at all? And or did you just see it as it happened? Because it cracked me up.
I just saw it as it happened. He ain't gonna come talk to me. Who am I to talk to about this?
I didn't know if he said, "Hey, have I got this on right? Am I doing this right? What do I need to do to pull this off?"
No, I think one time he started wearing. I used to wear tennis shoes with my suit. Because I always wanted to be comfortable. And I remember one time at WrestleMania, we went to a rehearsal, and he had his tennis shoes on, and he looked at me and he pointed out, "Yeah, I got mine on today. Yeah, so he did mention that, okay? But no, he just come up with the do-rag on his own. You know him.
Oh, yeah. That crazy stuff. And it could only work for Vince. I don't know if there's anybody else that could pull off what he pulled off. And there are going to be people down in the comments too. Teddy, I can tell you this already. Because we mentioned Vince, people are going to say, "Oh, you're ass kissing Vince."
Well,
I'm going to say this one last. Yeah, I'm going to say this one last time. What we think of Vince is basically what Teddy came to be with Vince, who he knew when he worked at WWF or WWE under Vince McMahon. He's only going by that. And until he is proven guilty in a court of law, that will remain the response you're going to get from myself or Teddy.
Right. And then, like I said, if he's proven guilty, that's not going to change my feelings for him. You know what I mean? Everybody's got some hidden skeletons in the closet. I mean, everybody.
Everybody.
So, he just happened to, things with those, it just happened to come out.
Yep.
So, like I said, other than that, he was always respectful to me, just as nice as he could be. I knew when to speak to him and when not to, and he always took care of me, and I appreciate that. Me and you wouldn't even be on this podcast now if it wasn't for Vince.
Absolutely true.
Right.
All right, so let's see what our next image is coming up here, Teddy, as we look at Halloween Havoc in the past in WCW, and the next one coming up will be.
Oh, God.
Okay. For those listening, it's Teddy Long. I'll let Teddy describe his outfit in a minute. But the outfit that really jumps out is Tony Schiavone on the side of you wearing what I guess is the Phantom of the Opera outfit or something?
I have no idea what he's got on.
He looks like he's got lipstick on. I can't really tell. But one of the most unusual things, I don't remember Tony Schiavone in this outfit, but it does look like it may be the Phantom of the Opera. But let's talk about your outfit that night at this is boy, god dang, Halloween Havoc. I think this is 1991, maybe, Teddy, 1990. Do you remember who you had at that time? I would assume, based on those straps on your shoulders, Doom was probably your team at that time.
Yeah, Butcher and Ron. In fact, the shirt that I have on too, that's a Doom shirt there, a part of that. So yeah, it was Butcher Reed and Ron Simmons. They were the World Tag Team Champions.
I don't recall that T-shirt either, the Doom T-shirt that you have on, because I can't make it out that well, but I don't recall it ever seeing that shirt before.
Well, they didn't make a lot of them.
Oh, they should have, because it looks really cool from what I can see here.
Well, like I say.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. Moving on Halloween Havoc. The next picture here will be, well, we were just talking about Doom. This is one of the Halloween Havocs. Do you remember this, Teddy, this particular night when Arn Anderson and Ric Flair faced off with Butch and Ron?
Well, they had several matches. This wasn't just the only one. So, I remember this. And then, we worked them a lot in a lot of other events. So, yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, I would imagine that combination probably sold many tickets, because that's a great combination. When you got Butch and Ron, who at that time was the Road Warriors even in the company at this time, or is Doom?
I think the Road Warriors were there. I'm not sure.
They're the only team, I'll say this, they're the only team when it came to in tag teams that I thought was just as tough and badass as the Road Warriors. There were two strong teams, and that was the two of them. They were believable people beating ass. And I think people really, took to people like that because that's what they wanted. They wanted to see an ass kicking. Not necessarily wrestling. It's in the South. We want to see a little bit of ass kicking.
Well, that's what you go to. That's what you go to the shows for.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Next picture here we have, Teddy. And the next one here we go. Now, any memories of this one? Yeah, go ahead.
This is the great Mark Merrow, better known as Johnny B. Bad.
Yeah,
and,
man.
Oh God, we had so much fun during that gimmick there, man. It was absolutely great, man. I had a great time with Mark.
Now let's talk about your fashion here. This looks more like a Michael Jackson kind of era. What inspired the look here?
Brother, I couldn't tell you, but he was very good at, getting his own costumes and, coming up with his own gear. So I'm pretty sure that was something that he had in mind, or somebody, that he knew. But he was good at getting those costumes, because basically the character was kind of a takeoff of Little Richard.
Yeah.
And so you know how flamboyant Little Richard was. So
yeah.
So that's what we were kind of doing there.
And that was actually a good idea, because he pulled off that character so well. Let me ask you, did somebody in the back come up with that character, or was that something that he was already doing and working on? Because he seemed extremely good at that character.
No, the way that came up is they started him, just plain wrestling. And Dusty, God rest his soul, Dusty Rhodes, it was his idea to come up with something for him, because Dusty was the one came to me and told me about it. He looked like Little Richard.
Yeah.
So then when Dusty thought about that, then Dusty came up with the idea, and Dusty was going to call him Tutti Frutti. Well, he came out to me after he had talked to Dusty. He come and found me, and he says to me, he says, Teddy, he says, they're going to call me Tutti Frutti. I said, whatever they want to do, this is what we have to do. I said, I can't change it. I ain't got no power. And he said, well, can you think of something, And so I thought of something, and I said, I thought about it, and I said, well, I told him first. And I said, well, I'm going to say something to Dusty and see if we can use this. And I could do that because me and Dusty were okay. I didn't bother him unless, I had to bother him. So he really understood that. And Dusty was a person that he appreciated you coming to him with something, because that let him know that you ain't just waiting on them to think of everything for you. You know, you're out there trying to think of something to help yourself and, you know, help your, and this is your job. So I went into Dusty and I said to Dusty, Dusty, if you got a second, I said, I got a little thing there I'd like to run by you. We could use Mark, you know, instead of Tutti Frutti, it might be a little bit better. And he asked me, he said, what is it, baby? And I said to him, I said, all the fly guys will get mad and all the fly girls will get glad. Get ready for Johnny B. Bad. And it hit him. Yes, baby. That's yes. And Dusty liked it, and that's how the name Johnny B. Bad came.
That's very cool. Yeah, because like I say, did you help him, the character itself? Did you help him develop that character as he was going along? Not. So he basically created, he knew what he had to do, and he just went to it and presented what we got.
Yeah, he did everything on his own. You know, he would use little phrases like Little Richard. He was, hush, Teddy. You know, and Little Richard would always. So he, we took a little bit from Little Richard, and he come up and he did the rest of it.
By the way, Johnny B. Bad fans that are listening or watching right now, that you don't know what he's doing lately, he does a lot of inspirational work. He travels to different schools all across the country and trying to inspire young folks in school. And very cool to see. I keep up with him quite a bit. I know he lost his dog just recently, somebody that he's had by his side for a long time, and it was real tough for him. So hopefully things are getting better, and hopefully if you get a chance, you'll get a chance to see Johnny B. Bad again at maybe a function somewhere. It'd be nice to see him again.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It hadn't been lately, but I have seen him.
Yeah. Now I've seen him jump off. By the way, I've seen Johnny B. Bad on a dock doing flips and stuff. I can't remember how old Johnny is right now, but he is doing things that are absolutely incredible. And his friends were sitting around going, "Are you serious?" And he can still do flips just like he was 20 years old, my friend.
That's why I keep telling people, everybody keeps sitting around talking about I'm old and I'm too old to do this and do all that. I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Stop. If you let yourself get trapped into that, then you are going to be too old to do anything.
Yes, you will.
I don't even think about my age. I never even wake up thinking about nothing. I still ache and pain a little bit, but that's part of it. I know that's wear and tear on the body, just like wear and tears on a car. If you don't tune it up, it's going to quit running. So that means if I don't go to the gym and tune this old body up and eat right, then I'm going to quit running.
You said old body. Don't say that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying like an old car. You're right. Yeah. Don't say
that. All right, here we go. Next picture we have. This is we're getting down on just a couple more of these. Do you remember anything about this? I'm not sure who all was in this picture. You're interviewing what looks like maybe a Japanese group that came in, maybe from New Japan or somebody.
Well, that was, I believe, at Center Stage there when they had Andre the Giant and all of them were there or something. I believe that's where that was. I think Hank Aaron was there too. But other than that, wow, you're showing me some stuff, man, that I forgot all about. Like I said, the only thing brings back to my memory is maybe Center Stage, because I remember the outfit I had on at Center Stage. And I think this was where Hank Aaron and a lot of other people were there.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you some of the names in this picture. I wasn't a big fan of Japan wrestling at the time, so I couldn't tell you who that is in there, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next image we have here. Well, here we go. Yeah, we do have another one here. All right. The next one coming up here, Teddy, is I want to ask you were you here? What year did you leave WCW? What year was that?
I went to Vince in 98, so I might have left there in 96 or something.
I can't remember the year of the Yeti, but do you remember this character by any chance? Were you in WCW at this time?
I remember the Yeti. Yeah. Exactly. Golly. And I've met him, a while since he got out of the business. I can't think of his name. But
I can't. It's Ron Reese.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big Ron Reese. Yes. I remember him.
I know he had to hate that gimmick. I mean, you had to know going out to the ring, this was never going to work. There's no way you can expect a man to wrestle with bandages all over him except for the little slits in his eyes. I mean, it's just, I don't see how they expected that to happen. It was a funny visual when he came out. And Ron was a huge monster. I mean, I saw him at the power plant. This guy was extremely tall. I mean, he was a believable monster. So yeah, and I think he's still around, Teddy. I do believe that he's still around doing a few things here and there.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Next one we have here, I'm trying to make sure we not chop. Yeah, we got another one here. And this one will be, yeah. Do you remember this event? This was the Chamber of Horrors, I believe they called it, and where Abdullah the Butcher, in a wild match that included the Steiners, Sting, and some other people, Abdullah the Butcher ends up being placed in the electric chair and electrocuted. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I was right there. I saw that.
Do you remember that there was a switch that they were supposed to keep? That they had the switch when they put him in the chair. They're going to turn the switch on, turn the power. Do you remember that thing caught fire at the beginning of the show?
Yes.
What was going on in the back? Were they freaking out about what to do?
Well, yeah, you got to be freaking out. We're live pay-per-view there, and then now you got a big fry going on here. So you know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of people were panicking, but you know, there were some people that understood and kept their sanity and got it taken care of.
What was the thought of the guys in the back when they saw this match? I mean, I can imagine even some of the participants going, "Oh God!" I mean, what was the thought?
Well, like a lot of the guys, when we're backstage, you know, there maybe, you know, certain things we might pay attention to or might look at. I don't think anybody even gave that any thought, because everybody's in the back are worried about their own matches. They got to, you know, what's going to happen with them tonight. So, yeah. But like I said, you got to stop and take a moment when you see Abdullah in an electric chair and electrocute him. So you got to look at that. So I know I did. So I imagine some guys stop for a moment and pause. But other than that, you know, guys got to worry. They got their own stuff to worry about.
I would imagine that for a lot of, especially when you're on live TV, relying on the pyro guys to do their job and do it correctly on time, man, you know how many things can go wrong, Teddy. And that's got, you can have a great match and get right to that point where you're supposed to have that big explosion, and it doesn't come right away, and it screws everything up. Was there ever a time like Vince would get on to the pyro guys for pyro accidents? Like The Undertaker, for example, he caught fire. Actually got, I think they said 2nd or 3rd degree burns going through an entrance once.
That was a time right there that Vince exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything like that goes wrong, Vince is going to call it to your attention. I mean, he's going to get right on you because he understands that too. Yep. You know, you can't really afford for something like that to really happen because it could turn into something way bigger than what it started out to be. So, like I said, Vince was maybe a little bit rougher than he should be, but that's just Vince.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would imagine Vince, and everything I hear about him, he sounds more like, while he's a businessman, he's also kind of a strict dad in his approach to handling things. That's how I grew up, so it doesn't offend me that way. You know, if you're pissed off, tell me you're pissed off, and then we'll move on from there.
Well, you know? That's the thing I liked about him. You know what I mean? He didn't hide nothing from you. He wasn't one of those guys that hated you, and then when you walked by him, he smiled at you. You know, if he didn't like you, he let you know it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I said, there were a lot of guys that worked there that he probably didn't like, but he's about the money. Okay. Oh, yeah. I ain't got to go home and have dinner with you.
No. He just wants the money.
Yeah, we work together. We do our thing. After work is over, enjoy. Hey, see you tomorrow.
Yep. All right, Teddy. This part here, I told you earlier this week, I called you on the phone and I said, we're going to do something unusual because I found something while going on the internet looking for things, and I found some things on eBay that, of course, are, you know, revolved around you. So here's the first one I wanted to show you from eBay. This was as of yesterday, which will be the 9th of October in 2024. That is a WWE Legends Teddy Long Elite Build action figure exclusive rare. And right now, $85. Teddy, I can't. Let me see if I can blow this up any more than it is. I can't, unfortunately. But let me ask you, that outfit, did you have a suit that looked like you had on a jacket 2 sizes too big?
No.
So where did that come from? Did they just create that without anything to do with you?
They created that themselves. Remember, I talked to you about this. This is the action figure that you had to buy pieces and put it together.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like if you get all the pieces and put it together.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's move on to the next eBay item that popped up, and it's kind of similar, I think, to the one that we just saw a second ago. And again, it's another Mattel Elite Teddy Theodore Long Build-A-Figure rare wrestling figure. That's going for $99 right now, Teddy. And that particular one, again, it looks like it's probably modeled after the same one that was on that we just saw a second ago.
Yeah.
But are you aware of it? But did you ever see a finished version of yourself from the build of stuff?
I ain't never seen nothing. This is the first one I saw right here, what I'm looking at.
Wow. Wow. And let me say this too. It doesn't look like Teddy. I'm just going to say that, Teddy. It doesn't look like you to me. Not in that one, at least. But let's see what else we have here on eBay that you can find of Teddy Long that more than likely he's never seen before. That's why we're using this. Here's the other one. This is the referee Teddy. And this again is selling online. I think is it say $54.94, I think, for the set. But it comes with Teddy Long, the different 1, 2, and 3 signs. So it depends on what count you want to have on his hand at the time. Teddy, again, that's the first time I've ever seen that figure.
Well, this ain't the first time I saw I guess the referee figure. Somebody did send me that. I do have a picture of it too. But like I said, now this is the second time I'm seeing it.
All right. Now, this is one I don't know that you know about, and because you've never mentioned this before. I think that's the next one coming up. It should be. Let's see here. Again, this is on eBay. Found this by searching Teddy Long, and yeah, this is it.
I have that. That's the one with me and Rey Mysterio, right?
That's the only package, Teddy, that I could find that had your complete figure in a box.
Well, I have maybe one of them. I think I have one of them right now.
And that's actually that particular version of Teddy I like, and the one with Rey Mysterio beside him. It's the Adrenaline series that you get with Teddy Long and Rey Mysterio. Let me ask you, and that's going for $100, by the way, on eBay. Let me ask you, Teddy, the pairing of you and Rey, was there a reason for that?
I have no idea.
I mean, how? Because you never were teamed with Rey. I mean, you worked with him, but you never had him under your, as a manager or anything else, did you?
That didn't really represent me for as me managing, but then I was the GM.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Is their way of putting you in the action figures without giving you your own action figure?
Well, I guess.
I'm just saying. All right, I think that may be it, Teddy. But those were things I found up on eBay that I was just really surprised that they were out there, and especially the first couple, because I wasn't aware of these figures out there. I knew you told me they were out there, but I've never seen one.
Yeah.
Does it surprise you that they're going for around $100?
Well, I don't know. I don't see how they're going to get $100 out of something that you got to get you got to wait and buy, different parts. You got to buy somebody's action figure to get my head. Then you got to go buy somebody's action figure to get my leg. So, I mean, if somebody pays $100 for one of them, they got to really want me.
Well, yeah, because they're buying the
trouble. It's they're putting people through a lot of trouble.
Actually, what they're doing on eBay, that's a complete figure. I mean, you get the Teddy Long figure already completed. So, and hey, by the way, if you do buy those things off of eBay, contact me. I'll get Teddy in touch with you, and he can autograph that. I'm sure we can handle special price for the signing of that particular item, especially if you say that you saw us on Road Trip After Hours and you bought it from there. That would be really nice. So, Teddy,
that's the only way I'm going to do it.
That's right. That's the only way. All right, Teddy, we are out of here. We're out of time. Actually, we went a little bit longer than we normally do. Anything coming up for you?
No, I'm pretty good. All rested up, man. I'm just really taking it easy. I do have a show in somewhere in Virginia. I can't think of the town right now. But it's on the 26th of October. I'm going to be up in West Virginia, and I'll get the name of it. I just hadn't talked to the promoter lately. But anyway, man, I'm just me and Mr. Rufus. We're just taking it easy, player.
This is that time of year when things slow down, especially if you do a lot of the shows during the year. This is the time of year when they start to wind down a little bit and you get kind of a break before they kick off again in the early part of next year. I'll be actually in Albany, New York this weekend for the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. I'll be hosting that event. Bill Apter was supposed to be hosting with me, but Bill is under the weather and cannot do the show, can't travel to do the show. But we have some extra special things kind of planned that even Bill didn't know. So I hope you'll join us up there in Albany, New York. All right. That's it, Teddy. That's let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, yeah. Next week, we got a special guest. Her name is Victoria or Tara, whatever you want to call her, from both WWE and TNA. And she will be a guest on the show. I'm looking forward to this because she's I've talked to her back and forth, Teddy. Man, she's a fireball. I mean, a fireball.
I know her. You ain't got to tell me.
Yeah, brother. So we hope you'll see us next week on Road Trip After Hours. I'm Mac Davis. That's WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and we'll see you again next week.
Holla, players.